here I go again, recording while I'm in the car driving. I'm so full. I was trying to wait to record later when I'm still, and I have about an hour and a half break once I drop my client off. But I'm so full this morning. I was trying to call a couple people to talk to them. Nobody answered the phone, so I'm just, gonna get on here and talk about it. Something that I haven't really said out loud, and I think people probably just know this that know me well, but I think I need to just go ahead and say it and let the world know. I'm so passionate about health and wellness as a whole, and I have been for a really, really long time. And I think that this is something that there were seeds planted in me at an early age, more than I even realized. Just things that I wondered about that I never researched, never got the answers to, but things in the back of my mind. And then as I got older, started to experience more things as a woman, hormonally, started to understand the effects of certain things on everybody's health, like when I was introduced to alcohol, and how years later I realized, hey, that could be why I started having some issues hormonally. And then later on researching, because what they don't tell you is alcohol is a depressive, and if you already have depression, it makes things worse. Also, how it affects your microbiome, your cells, like all of this stuff that eventually, I was like, yeah, I backed off from drinking as much because alcohol was a depressive, but the other information came later, to the point where now I don't drink at all. I just, and I don't really frown upon that for other people. It's a personal choice, because for a while I would just only drink on like special occasions with friends, family, at certain events, and I think that's okay if that's what you want to do. I don't have a problem with that, but at this point for me, I just choose, even with friends, it's just not my thing, because I don't like how it makes me feel. I'm more in tune with my body overall, so it's just a choice, just like me choosing not to eat sugar. I don't like how it makes me feel, so it's just a personal choice on my wellness journey. And again, no shade, no sidebar to anybody that does. I think it also helps me set an example in the work that I do. I am a peer recovery specialist. I got into recovery for mental health, not for addiction. But a lot of my colleagues are recovering from alcoholism. So I think that it just really helps me in that regard when I am in those circles to live that lifestyle along with them, even though that wasn't my vice as far as addiction. I just think that helps in that circle as well, because like I said, I have a lot of close friends and colleagues that I'm just friends with, and that I also work with, that are in the recovery community and in AA, so I think that helps. My vice was food, so I can relate to addiction in that way, and I'm in recovery from being, a food addict, honestly. So, but that, going back to why I was so full and why I wanted to do this video, is because I really need to put fuel to the fire. The fact that I have this passion for whole health and wellness overall. I do a lot of trainings for mental health and recovery and trauma and leadership leadership and ethics and all of that, but I've said a lot of silent prayers in regards to what's next for me. I read a lot. I get a lot of education because I read a lot. I listen to a lot of podcasts, a lot of videos, but I also believe that education doesn't just come from a formal classroom. I believe that you have to intentionally read, and a lot of people in my community don't do that. We wait for other people to tell us something, and for me, when I have a curious thought about something, I look it up. I start researching. That's how I've ended up in remission from ulcerative colitis, is because I felt led to not do traditional medicine, and I felt that the Holy Spirit was leading me to start reading, and that's what I did. And now I have symptoms that are under control, and I'm actually going to do blood work in the next coming weeks, just to see how my numbers have improved by doing it God's way. And so, why is it important for me to share my passion for health and wellness? Because I kind of see that in the future, what the future holds for me is something different career-wise than what I've ever done. And it's been a long time coming. Back some years ago, I had my first LLC was called Body Temple Health. And at that time, I was actually studying personal training and nutrition. There were a lot of things I didn't know, though. A lot of things in that class that were just basic. It didn't go into the deepness of functional medicine, herbology. It didn't even go. It just was like a basic starting point. And there were some personal things that happened in my life that definitely got me off track to that. That was prior to me really working on my mental health and really asking for help in the way that I needed it. That was over a decade ago. I was still in my 20s. And I needed a lot of healing. And so much has changed since then. And I'm actually really glad that, and I ended up, not doing anything with Body Temple Health LLC, resolving it. I had a lot of self-esteem issues. I didn't think that I was good enough to take on personal training other people, and I didn't understand discipline at the time. There was so much about me that I didn't understand. I didn't understand my trauma. I didn't understand how to heal and the level of healing that I needed. And fast forward to today, I love God, because the way life is today, it's an everlasting proof that it's not too late to get the lessons that you need. It's not too late to start again. As long as you have breath in your body, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. And if you are yielded to Him and all His ways, He's going to do what He says. He's going to direct your path. It may take a little bit longer than you would like to get there. I didn't know that it was going to take me this long. But I'm not really mad about the process, because I'm here now, and I am so glad. I'm so grateful that the process wasn't rushed. I had somebody criticize how long it's taken me to lose over 100 pounds. Just one person, only one person on this journey. And it came from a good place, and there were some truths to what they said, but at the end of the day, I also know that I followed the leading of the Holy Spirit and how I've lost this weight. I also know that if I had rushed the process, there are some deep lessons that I would have missed just trying to hurry up. Everybody in today's society is a microwave age, and they want everything hard and fast. But what I've learned is hard and fast things don't last. when you take your time and you really work on the parts of you that need to heal and change, I'll say that for me. Me working on the parts of me that needed to heal and change, I've needed this whole couple of years of this weight loss journey to do the work to make this everlasting. Someone said to me the other day, I was talking about the weight loss and some other things and discipline, and they were like, yeah, but then we turn around and we gain that weight back and we this and we. I said, no, that's you. I'm not doing that. Why? Because I understand what I did before and why I was losing weight and gaining it and not able to keep it off. Number one, I didn't understand food to the fullness that I understand it now, and I'm still learning. And because I've taken the time to read and educate myself with books that are not on the mainstream of everybody's thought process, and listening to non-traditional doctors and stuff like that, I understand food to the point where there's just certain things I really don't want in my body, not as a staple. Even if I were to decide to do something every once in a while, right now I'm not doing it while I'm doing this detox, and I'm giving my body a chance to fully heal. And there are things that I'd rather do to incorporate in my lifestyle versus the old things. What I've taken the time to make sure that what's important to me is important to me. I cannot rush the process of weight loss. I see so many people on my timeline who are either just overweight and they're fine with it, overweight or obese, people who have struggled the same way that I've struggled over the years, where weight was up and down, up and down, up and down, and they look good right now, but next year they'll probably gain 20 or 30 pounds back because they do it hard and fast. And again, that's no judgment, but we have to be willing to take the time to work on our the mental of why we yo-yo. And that's what I had to do. And for me, it was because I lacked the discipline and the consistency that I want from someone else. Like, I want to be in a relationship with somebody that is disciplined and consistent. Well, how can I want something that I'm not willing to do? I want God to be consistent with me and consistently answering my prayers, and he's like, well, discipline is a fruit of the spirit. I talk to you in my word about self-control. What areas of your life are you not giving over to me? What areas are you not disciplined in? And I had to really study that word and understand, like, I'm not disciplined and consistent. That's why I go back and forth. That's why, I've been lazy in this thing. And really examining myself and really realizing that, I can blame it on the food industry. I can blame it on genetics, which it really isn't. I can blame it on so many things, or I could take a look in the mirror and say, hey, baby, you're not doing the work. You're not living the lifestyle. And that's what I had to do. And that's why it's and I could blame it on being distracted and other people getting in the way, but I'm the one that has to set the boundary. And it takes time to really heal those things. You might have to be in a support group. You might have to be in therapy. You might have to just talk about it with friends and family and have an accountability system that way. You might have to do vlogs on YouTube and really talk about the hard truth with a certain audience and address it. Don't just talk about it, but really say, okay, I need to do the work. I need to study this. I need to incorporate this in my life. I need to have a routine. I kind of got excited because I'm realizing, like, I could have a set schedule with the medical transportation, because the two people that I take during the week, I have a person on Monday and Wednesday and another person on Tuesday and Thursday. Their appointments, it looks like they're going to start kind of being at the same time every day. So I'm like, okay, I could be expected to work from this time to this time, and then I can do whatever else around that schedule, be it my business for training or what I'm going to start doing with Body Temple Health. Or I could even DoorDash if I need some quick cash to pay the bills, because my medical transport, I get paid every Friday. But, I like to make some extra money, and DoorDash does a wonderful job of that for me right now. So, being consistent. And I have been able to be consistent with my diet, but as far as like a routine and a time frame, I had shared that I wanted in the month of July to consistently do floor and core exercises every day. And it is July 8th. I'm going to go ahead and admit that, did I do floor or core exercises on Saturday? I may have missed Saturday, but I didn't miss yesterday, and I'm not going to miss today. I'm trying to remember if I did them Saturday morning. I know that I did them Friday night, and I got off my routine Saturday because I went ahead and I visited with a couple people that day, and my detox got off track a little bit too, because I didn't want to be, I had it with me, but I didn't want to be on the toilet at their house all night. But that's what I mean by I have to even do better with that, because some people in the past, I would have been like huffing and puffing about that. But I have to decide, is it worth me breaking my routine to go do this, to go do that? What is it to me? What is it to Jamie Michelle Rivas? And be content when I make a decision to do something different than my normal routine. And if I'm not going to be content with that, then I just can't do it. And that's the hard part, because I feel like I've been in training season for a different lifestyle for the last couple of years. And I feel like I've kind of been under this covering. And I'm more focused now than I've ever been during those last couple of years. Which is why it's been kind of difficult for me to post the last few days, because I've just been super focused and very self-aware of things going on inside of me, spiritually, emotionally, physically. I also, as far as doing the core and the floor exercises, I've noticed changes, and I haven't even used weights yet. I've just been doing body weight. When I do them this evening, I'm going to start adding weights, but I've noticed changes already in my midsection, going down, losing inches, and I've just been doing them since the last day of June. And it's just so powerful how consistency, even for just a week, right? It just makes all the difference in the world, and your strength and your ability, just using your body weight, not even using machines or anything like that. I do know that I want to see some results a little bit faster, so I'm going to start incorporating weights. One thing that I've talked about is my flabby arm. You all can see I have a lot of looseness because of weight loss, and so I have been doing the exercises for those. I have noticed a difference, just a small difference, but it's still been very gradual. I'm gonna start adding some free weights, like I said today. I've been working out my triceps like I've never worked before, child, and I definitely feel it right now. I got some soreness right now, But I'm excited because, again, I've been disciplined in the food part, but I had not been disciplined, consistent in this part. And I think that for me, what I realized, I kept trying to put pressure on myself to go to the gym. And I needed to just focus on meeting myself where I was and being able to just get up, roll out the bed, off the couch or whatever, and get to it and get to my floor and core exercises in the morning, or I could do them at night before I go to sleep. It's so much easier because it's right where I'm at. And as I get consistent with just doing that, just doing the basics every day, teaching myself to be disciplined enough to do that at home, then eventually I can incorporate other things. I may not even need to go to the gym as long as I stay committed to that. I have free weights at home. I have resistant bands. I have a small trampoline. The one thing I don't have that I want to get some kettlebells, and I want to get one of those big bouncy balls that you blow up. I want to get one of those too. And so and I can do all of those things at home, and be comfortable and be committed. And I'm excited because the results that I see right now, I'm like, I can literally get the definition I want at home. I can literally change my body and pull a whole flex without entering the gym at all. And that is exciting to me. So I'm glad for that. And then also the cardio part, I've been doing that at home as far as like doing my videos, or if it's not too hot, getting out and doing my distance outside. That I love that. I've loved doing that for years. I haven't always been consistent, but as far as what to do and how to do that, yeah, that is good. So that is always fun for me. So yeah, but this passion that I have, before when I did Body Temple Health and I was in those classes, again, it was hard and fast. There were a lot of things in my mental that hold on a second. In my mental that I did not do. And so and there were a lot of things that I didn't know and understand about mental health, and basically trauma, and then mentality. I didn't understand that, how environment shapes your mentality, and that when you really want to change, like a big change in your life, sometimes that means unlearning some things that you've always known. And that's what I needed to do, and so that's why the change before did not last. I needed to change my mentality. I needed to change the character of who I was. I really needed to become what I say that I believe, and I'm just glad for the internal work, because we can take care of this outside. We can put up a front, we can act like, oh my goodness, I done lost all this weight, and do that for a little while. But have we addressed the mentality that or the trauma that caused me to be a food addict or comfort eater in the first place? Am I addressing the things that happened to where I was undisciplined and not consistent? What else? What is the deeper work? Forget the surface level stuff. And that was why I knew this one was going to be different, because I was like, yeah, I don't want to go through this whole process just to end up back where I started. That sucks. That's super depressing. And so this had to be a lifestyle change for me. I can't wait to see what the end is going to be, because I'm not done losing weight yet. I'm not done with this journey. It's a little bit scary, and I have to also address this. I said I might have to actually go to therapy for this. Um, what's scary is that I knew a while ago, you got to go through an identity change. You got to go through an identity change big time, because I've always been a big girl since I can remember. And I had to learn to love myself in that, and I had accepted that. Unfortunately, at one point, I had accepted that that was the way it always had to be, that was my cross to bear, which is so sad, because of course I have learned so much since then that a lot of this was not hereditary. 95% of diseases are not genetic, and it's just what changes that I didn't understand were necessary, didn't know were necessary. And so it's a trip. And now I have to re-identify myself. I recently unsubscribed from Ashley Stewart, which is a plus size store. I can't wear a lot of their clothes, and even their smallest sizes, I have to look at measurements to see if they would even fit me. And most of the time, their smallest sizes are sold out. So I just unsubscribed. Lane Bryant was another store that I used to be able to shop at. It's so crazy because Lane Bryant canceled my credit card a couple months ago, and I was upset. Like, how you gonna cancel my credit card? And it was because I never used it anyway. But I was like, how you gonna do that? And the Lord is looking at me like, but you don't need it. You really can't shop here anymore. This is not your store. This is not your identity. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have different options now. I don't have to do that. And it's just new. It really is new. Like, it's just so new. So I really have to do the work to understand. And here's the thing, because I'm not done losing weight, I still can't go out and buy a whole bunch of clothes, because as I tone and this muscle and is burning fat, it's really gonna be different. I'm already smaller than I have been majority of my adult life. So as I keep going, I know what my body is going to look like, and I really had some anxiety the other day, because I'm like, yo, if you I can see how small my frame really is supposed to be now. And I'm just like, yo, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to be like really small. Are you ready for that? Are you ready to take on this new person? And I literally had a thought like, I might be losing too much weight. And it's really crazy, because it's like, no, you're actually becoming the body that you were designed to be. Not what people say you have to be genetically. I can see that doing the work, this is what's going to happen, because I'm eating right. Not even the exercise part. The exercise part adds to it. But just eating right consistently, weight still coming off. And that's why I have to do the exercises, because I'm like, I'll be walking around with a whole bunch of loose skin everywhere if I don't, because I'm just going to keep losing weight, because it's a lifestyle. So yeah. The fast is going pretty good. I got off track a little bit on Saturday, but I'm telling you, I really want to keep going. I'm just like, I really like how it's making me feel. I like how it's keeping me hydrated, because I'm getting more intentional fluids in my body every day. And so I'm wondering, how long can you really do this thing for? Like, is it dangerous to go past 28 days? You know what I'm saying? So I might even send them an email about that and see what it said. So, because truth be told, I'm detoxing for real at this level for the first time ever in life. And so it's reversing a lot of damage from years. I don't know that everything can be fixed in a 28-day detox. And I do know that he says to do it more than once a year. And so that's what I'm gonna do. I had already said I was gonna do it again. Probably, I don't know, probably beginning of November, before the holidays. But for me, it really doesn't matter, because even on holidays, I don't eat bad. I don't, that's the thing. I don't use any excuse to choose something that's not good for me. You know, oh, you hanging out with friends for the weekend. Yep. I got to make sure I got a cooler full of things that I could eat, because they're not going to do it for me. They're not living the lifestyle that I'm living. So, you know, I got this pool party coming up. I got to make sure I'm good. I got to make sure I'm golden for me, you know. And that's going to be that, because I can't expect somebody else to do it for me. I just can't. So anyway, I'm about to jump off because my phone's getting hot and I'm about to pick up my client. But yeah, I'll talk to y'all soon. Love y'all. Bye-bye.